Hello and welcome to Fit to Box channel. Please like and subscribe and don't forget to jab that notifications bell for all my latest uploads. Today I've got a video about choosing the perfect boxing gloves for you. So the items and things that you need to think about when you're choosing a boxing glove I'm going to cover in this video, and you should be able to whittle down the things that you want, how much you want to spend, what you want them to look like, and to reach the perfect glove. Now, when it comes to gloves, you have to first think to yourself, what are you going to be using the gloves for? Are you going to be using the gloves for just bags? Are you going to be using the gloves for mitt work? Are you going to be using the gloves for sparring? Or are you going to have them as a training glove where you're going to be using them for everything? With bag gloves, obviously there is specific bag gloves. There's an example here of some bag gloves where these have got some knuckle protection which couldn't be used for sparring. So there is bag gloves specifically out there. So if you are just wanting bag work, you don't have to look at the sparring gloves, you can go straight for the specific, hard, durable bag gloves. When it comes to mitt work, you can use smaller gloves because obviously you'll be working on speed. So you can look at the 8 ounces, the 10 ounces, the 12 ounces. You can use fight gloves for that as well. So again, if you're just using mitt work, do you need massive gloves? And then if you're looking for normal bag work, you could go for bigger ounce gloves, sort of 14, 16 if you're working on endurance. And then if you're looking for sparring, and you're just going to use the gloves for sparring, then you want more padding, you want more protection for your sparring partner and for your hands. And so you may go for a 14, 16, 18 ounce, or even if you're a big fella, a 20 ounce glove like I've got here. Now in terms of most gyms will say 16 ounce minimum for sparring, but please check with the gym that you're at and they'll be able to advise you. I would hate for you to go out, spend money, buy a pair of 14 ounce, get to the gym, you want to spar and they say no, minimum 16 ounce. Okay, then you have to choose what do you want in terms of how is the glove going to fasten. Is it going to be a lace-up glove, or are you going to go for the convenience of a Velcro glove? So the pros and the cons for those. You can get a tighter wrist with a lace-up, but only if you get somebody to tie it up that knows what they're doing. Also, there is sort of the inconvenience of, is there going to be anybody around to tie the gloves? Because obviously at our gym, I'm always available to tie the gloves up for people, but if there isn't somebody there, or if you're training on your own, that becomes very difficult. I'll come on to that a little bit later. With Velcro are super convenient. You can train on your own, just put your own gloves on, wrap them up and get a nice, good Velcro wrist closure. I don't think there is a massive difference between lace wrists and Velcro. There is some great Velcro wrists out there now. My preference for a really, really strong wrist is still lace, but only just because, as I say, there has been some massive advancements when it comes to Velcro closures. Okay, you can also get gloves that have got lace and Velcro. They're called hybrids. I think they're a little bit of an overkill really, because I don't think you're getting any extra wrist support by having both the lace and the Velcro. All you're getting is a bit more weight around the wrist area. Okay, if you've got lace-up gloves and you want to convert them, obviously you can get lace converters. I've done a video on the big lace converters, and you can also get lace and loop, which means that you can transform your lace-up gloves into sort of a Velcro alternative, which is, as I've said, more convenient. So what size do you need? So boxing gloves come, fight gloves are 8 ounce and 10 ounce if you are professional. Amateur, 10 ounce and 12 ounce, but they're a different style of glove. In amateur, they're a rounder, more padding and protective glove. You can get 12 ounce, you can get 14 ounce, you can get 16, 18 and 20 ounce. So the range of gloves and sizes that you can go for is vast. You also have to think whether or not you've got large hands or small hands. Obviously that's a factor, and obviously you will be wearing hand wraps as well, so you need to factor that in. Your hand will be bigger than if you was using the gloves without any hand wraps. From a lady's point of view, ladies have normally got smaller wrists and smaller hands, smaller fingers, smaller thumbs, and so I at this point would like to say to any ladies out there, please check out Unorthodox Boxing, which is a specific brand that makes gloves specifically for girls' hands. So check them out. As I say, there's not many companies out there that are just specifically for women, and there is, I acknowledge, some big differences between a woman's hand and a man's hand. So those gloves are specifically made for you. Unorthodox Boxing. Okay, when you're looking for a glove as well, you're looking at the padding. What sort of padding do you want? Do you want to go for the harder, sort of Mexican, flatter punch surface? Or do you want to go for sort of the rounder, softer, Japanese type punch surface? Okay, some brands offer two different types of padding, harder and softer. So there is some brands out there that will cater for your needs. When it comes to style, there is that much style going on now with boxing gloves. It used to be just plain red gloves. Now you can get whatever colours you desire. You can get metallics. You can get sort of your own sort of names put onto your gloves. The wealth of customisation out there at the minute. There's some great customization tools on various websites that will enable you to create the perfect glove for yourself in terms of what it looks like. Okay, you can always get the stock colours, but then you've also got the customization. You can go for sort of a brown glove, or you can go for a glove like this, which is sort of three different types. You've got three different types of metallic on there and a white glove as well. When it comes to boxing gloves durability, you want a glove that is going to last. If you're thinking I'm going to spend £20 on a pair of synthetic gloves, they're not going to last very long. They're going to fall to bits very, very quickly. It's a bit of a false economy. And there's a lot of good gloves out there. The best synthetic gloves are the ones that are more expensive. So above £100, they're the best synthetic gloves. The synthetic gloves at sort of £20, £30, £40 are normally not great when it comes to durability. Leather gloves are great, but again, you know, you can pick up some decent leather gloves from about £30, so you haven't got to spend a lot. Of course, as in anything, you can go from sort of low amount of money right the way up. It's the same as cars, really. You can buy a budget car, or you can buy a supercar, and that's the same with boxing. It depends very much on your budget and how much you want to spend. Some people are very comfortable with spending hundreds of pounds on boxing gloves, and some people are like, no, I've got a specific limit in mind of what I want to spend, and I don't want to spend any more. So that's the reason why on fit2boxchannel.com, my website, I have created the title belts, which are in the different price brackets. Okay, so you can go on there, and if, say, for example, you think to yourself, I only want to spend £50, there is the featherweight belts in there, and you can see all the top gloves and how I've rated them, and you can have your pick in that particular price bracket as to what you want. You can see on there is gloves on there that are not rated very highly, and there's gloves which are the best of the best which are on there. So you can clearly see what I think of them. Obviously, it's your choice with the boxing gloves, not mine, but the channel and all of these videos is to help you make a better decision for you, okay? So this is not about me picking the best glove for everyone in the world. That's impossible. This is about me giving you more information so you can pick and use that information and pick the best glove for yourself. From my point of view, I know some people just have one pair of gloves and they use them for bags, and they use them for training, they use them for sparring. My ideal is always to have a separate bag glove and a separate sparring glove, because I like to have my best gloves as my sparring gloves, and you can use old beat up gloves as long as the padding's good for your bag work. Years ago, I used to have a really nice pair of Clayto Rays, which were my sparring gloves. They were blue, and I had a really beat up pair of red Clayto Rays, and they were absolutely, they looked like they were battered, but they were still good when it came to using them on the bags. So I would always recommend that you have two gloves, because then the amount of durability of both will last longer. In terms of if you have got the two gloves, what I normally do is, if the bag gloves are really getting just too beat up or the padding is shot, then I would get rid of that. And what I've done in the past is my sparring glove that I've been using for the sparring then gets downgraded to my bag glove, and I buy myself a new pair of sparring gloves. And again, from my point of view, when I get new equipment, it reinvigorates me and actually feel like it adds to my workouts, the fact that I've got new gear. But that's perhaps just me because I'm mad on equipment, as you know. So let's just have a look. So as you can see, there's lots and lots of different brands. Again, if you go onto my website, fit2boxchannel.com, I've got all of the reviews in the different sections under the brands as well. So you'll be able to see, if you thought to yourself, well, yeah, I want to buy an Adidas pair of gloves, you can go on there and you can see all the Adidas gloves reviews that I've done. Okay, so I wanted to bring you that. You need to have a look at all of those factors when it comes to deciding the best glove for yourself. As I say, not only use sort of your information online on YouTube, on Fit2Box channel, but also ask your coach, ask your friends. You know, if you go into a boxing shop, speak to the person in the boxing shop. There's some real good specialist boxing shops out there with some people with some amazing knowledge, and they will advise you what they think, and then you can just put all that information together and then put that into getting that perfect glove for you. Some of you out there, it may just boil down to price, and if it does just boil down to price, then what I would say is just make sure you use my website, because that will make sure that you'll be spending that money that you've got wisely. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you found it useful. Please like and subscribe to Fit2Box channel, and I shall speak to you soon.